Welcome to our first Xvoyant Customer Experience webinar. We're coming to you live from the beautiful mountains of Salt Lake City, Utah. My name is Nico and I'll be leading the webinar today. You can expect to have these customer experience webinars on a monthly basis. During these sessions, we will share new updates coming to Xvoyant, best practices, cover our most frequently asked questions, and invite top leading industry managers to share their experience with Xvoyant. So we invite you to keep attending our webinars. This will be a useful resource for all managers looking to improve their coaching session and help team members get to the next level by improving the sales, moving the sales needle. Today, we will cover our newest release, which includes the new coaching health report and the manager view. We will also be creating and completing a worksheet and showing you the new collaboration function. Please know that at the bottom of your screen, you can find the Q&A button. We have our customer experience team ready to answer any of your questions. So as we're going through the webinar today, please don't hesitate to ask as many questions as you would like. After the webinar, we will send out an email with a recording of this session. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, on the top right side of Xvoyant, you will find the new coaching tab. Inside of this coaching tab, you will have two different views. You'll have first the manager view, and secondly, the rep view. If you're looking to look at your whole team in one place, you'll select the manager view. To access the manager view, you want to make sure that you've selected all instead of choosing a specific person. So first, let's take a look at the manager view, select all, and press apply. This view of the coaching tab is going to open up the coaching health report. First, we are going to show you your Xvoyant calendar, where you'll be able to see three different things. First, you'll be able to see all of your upcoming scheduled one-on-one coaching sessions by looking at the symbol with two people. Second, you'll also be able to see all of the coaching goals that have been assigned and the due date of those coaching goals by looking for the bar in yellow. The last thing that you'll be able to see in the calendar is the closed must-win deals, so that each time that you select an opportunity and mark it as an important or must-win opportunity, you can see those in the green bar. On the right side of the coaching health report, you'll be able to see your upcoming coaching sessions, all of your team members that you've scheduled sessions with. And at the bottom, if you have anyone who needs a session, you'll be able to see them in there as well. If you ever need to schedule a session, there's two ways to go about doing that. You can schedule a session by selecting schedule a session underneath the upcoming coaching sessions report, or from the bottom right side, by clicking on the navigation button, you'll be able to schedule a session from there as well. We'll talk a little bit more about scheduling of sessions in just a moment. Next, in the manager view of the coaching health report, you will be able to see the entire coaching health report. On the top right side of this report, you'll be able to sort and filter by different dates. So for example, if you want to look at the last 30 days and all of your coaching initiatives in the last 30 days, you will have to select 30 days. For this scenario, we'll take a look at the last 60 days. In the last 60 days, the first coaching report that you'll be able to see is the average coachability report. This one is going to show you how in the last 60 days, your coachability of your team has either increased or decreased according to the coaching goals that they've completed in the last 60 days. So here I can see that 60 days ago, my coachability score for my whole team was at 82%, and today is at 87%, letting me know that I have a 5% increase. The next report you'll be able to see is the total coaching one-on-ones. Here you'll be able to see anyone in your team who did not have a session in the last 60 days and anyone who did have a session. If you want to learn a little bit more about those sessions, all you have to do is click on the number in the middle of that report, and this is going to open up a complete report with all of those sessions, the date and time that they happen, or the date and time that they will be happening. The next report for your whole team is the total coaching goals. Here, you'll be able to see the percentage of goals that are currently in progress or pending. This means that the goal is not yet completed. Next, you'll be able to see the percentage of your team who had a goal in the last 60 days. On the top right side, you'll see anyone who has already achieved their goal and anyone who has already not achieved their goal. Again, if you want to find out more information about those coaching goals, you can select the number and you'll be able to see an entire list of those coaching goals that were assigned and completed and the ones that are still pending. On the top right side, you'll find the coaching goals by month. This is going to show you the last 4 months and is going to show you your coachability and the coaching goals that you've set for each team member. So here we can see that in April, I set 7 coaching goals. In May, I went up to 9. In June, I only assigned 2 coaching goals to my team members, but now in July, we're going back up again. We're currently at 7 goals assigned for July. The last 2 reports that we'll show you are your top coaching activities that you're selecting each time you're having a coaching session and your top coaching skills as well. This is going to be a great view if you're a manager of managers. So if you have managers underneath you, you'll be able to go through all of your managers and see their coaching initiatives inside of the coaching health report. At the very bottom of the manager view in the coaching tab, you will find our honeycomb view. This view is going to be very helpful to know exactly what kind of coaching goals you should be setting for each person, depending on where they are today. So here I can see my entire team. If I want to look at progress to goal, for example, I can select progress to goal, and I can see who my top performer in my team is in regards to progress to their sales goal. In the middle, you'll be able to see the percentage of their progress to that growth goal. So in this example, you'll be able to see that David Goldberg is at 136% of his sales goal. Jillian is at 106. Roger is at 106 as well. And then we have the rest of the team. Now, what if I want to look at coachability? Who is the most coachable person in my team? I can now select the coachability filter. Here, I'll be able to see that Jillian is at 100% coachability, which means that she has accomplished all of the coaching goals that I've assigned to her. Thomas is at 96, and then I can see the rest of my team. The next filter is process. Who has the strongest process? And if you remember, when looking at Xvoyant and talking about process, we're always looking at the pipeline. And we're saying who has enough in their pipeline to accomplish their sales target today. Here we can see that Jillian is at 132% process, which means that she has more than enough to accomplish the goal that was assigned. Then we have David next, Roger, and then the rest of my team. A question that I get a lot of times when we're reviewing the honeycomb view is, what are the colors and where do the colors come from? What do they mean? You'll notice that when I select progress to goal, the colors change. When I move to coachability, I also have different colors. And when I look at process or pipelines, the colors will continue to change. So let me show you that next. First, progress to goal. When you look at progress to goal, the colors are being pulled from the sales distribution, which is found in the team tab. So if I scroll all the way to the top and I click on my team tab, here I'm going to find my year-to-date sales distribution. And I can see all of my team members inside of that sales distribution. I see that I have 1 person in red, 2 in orange, 1 in yellow, 2 in light green, and 1 in green. So when I go back to my coaching health report and I look at the honeycomb view, I can see that those colors also match. Now, if I select coachability, these colors are being pulled from the willingness to change quadrant, which is also found inside of the team tab. If I go back to my team tab and I scroll down and I look at my willingness to change quadrant, I can see the different colors there. And that's where we're pulling the coachability score in the honeycomb view. The last one is process. The process score is being pulled from process versus outcomes, and the colors will reflect the same colors that you are seeing in process versus outcomes in the coaching tab. Okay. On the right side of the honeycomb view, you'll also get access to secondary sorts. This is going to be great when you're thinking about what kind of coaching goals should I set for this person, or how can I really help them improve their sales process. So for example, let's say I want to see who has the best process right now, who has the strongest pipeline. But then I want to combine that with progress to goal. Who has the best pipeline? And secondary, who has the best progress to their sales goal? So I can see here that my top performing overall for both of these sorts is David Goldberg, and then we have Jillian. And then I can see exactly how to help the other people improve by either coaching them around improving their progress to goal, by closing more opportunities and tuning the deal, or improving their process by tuning the sales engine. You'll also be able to find secondary sorts on the right side, like number of opportunities, opportunity size, deal size, win rate, and velocity, where you'll be able to see who are your top performers in regards to that category. One of my favorite parts of this sorting is actually the filter section. In the filter section, you'll be able to split in different filters and look at different things. First, who has a coaching goal. If I select who has a coaching goal, this is going to show me who currently, right now, has a coaching goal assigned to them and who does not have a coaching goal. From here, I can actually click on that person's name, open up their coaching profile, and assign a coaching goal to them. If I'm using individual development programs, I can select who has an individual development program created for them, and you'll be able to see that as well. And lastly, you'll be able to see who needs a one-on-one coaching session scheduled. Here, you'll be able to see all your people who do not have a one-on-one schedule right now and who needs a session. And from there, again, you can select their name and start scheduling those one-on-one coaching sessions. At the very bottom of the manager view, you'll also find some shortcuts. For example, if you want to look at your view active coaching goals, you can select there and take a look at all of them. You'll also be able to find past coaching goals, active sales goals, past sales goals, repeating sales goals, your past one-on-one coaching worksheets, and your upcoming worksheets. Lastly, in this coaching health report, what you'll be able to see on the top left side is the team view. This is really helpful if you are the manager of managers. So if you have an entire team underneath you, you'll have to go to the very top of Xvoyant, change the view to all so that you can look at all regions or all areas and press apply. Once you've done that, you can scroll back down and turn on the team view function. If you select team view, and I'll remove all the filters, you can now see all of your teams in one place. And you can also sort and filter by the same categories. So if I want to see who is my top performing team in progress to goal, I can select that and I'll be able to see that my West team is the top performing team. Same with coachability scores. I can select coachability and see which team is the most coachable. By looking at this information as a manager of managers, you can have a conversation with the manager around what kind of coaching goals you expect them to do to push more adoption of Xvoyant. Next, I want to talk to you a little bit more about the coaching worksheet. As a best practice, we always recommend that all of our customers are using the one-on-one coaching worksheet. This will help improve your coaching sessions and also will record all of your notes and comments in regards to your coaching sessions. Now, the worksheet will be found on the bottom right side while you're having a coaching session and selecting the blue navigation button. Here at the very top, you will find that I can select the record one-on-one coaching worksheet, where I can select the rep that I'm having the one-on-one coaching session with. In this example, let's just say David Peck, and I can also select the worksheet that I want to fill out with them. Now, before filling out a worksheet, I actually want to show you how to create a worksheet and also how to incorporate collaboration inside of your one-on-one coaching worksheets. So let me go ahead and press cancel for now, and we're going to go to the settings tab on the top right side of Xvoyant. If you've ever logged into the settings tab before, you'll probably notice that there are two different kinds of settings. Now, if you are a manager, you will only get access to your sales leader settings. If you are a Salesforce admin, an executive, or an enablement rep, you'll probably have access to the organization-wide setting, where you will be able to change settings for your entire company. Now, both in organization-wide settings and in sales leader settings, you will be able to create a coaching worksheet. First, let's talk about organization-wide settings coaching worksheet. At the very bottom of the menu on the left side, you'll be able to select one-on-one coaching worksheet configuration. Here, you'll be able to see any worksheets that you have already created for your entire organization, and you will also be able to see the button to create new worksheets in case you want to add other worksheets. Some examples of worksheets are pipeline review, one-on-one coaching session with the manager, any kind of individual development program worksheets that you'll like to create. All of those can be created inside of the settings tab. Now, if you create a worksheet inside of the organization-wide settings, the manager will still have access to creating a different worksheet just for their team. Underneath sales leader settings, the manager can create a worksheet and only the manager will be able to view this worksheet. So only that manager and the team will have access to the worksheet, where if you create one under organization-wide settings, everyone will have access to those. So now let me select a worksheet that I've already created. This is my one-on-one coaching sessions agenda, and talk to you a little bit more about what kind of questions we can create and the type of answers that you can also add. First, let's talk a little bit about this worksheet settings. In order to allow collaboration, which means that every time you create a coaching session, an email is going to go out to your salesperson, letting them know that a coaching session was been created with a worksheet attached to it so that they can start adding collaboration and questions to that worksheet. You will have to select the Allow One-on-One Coaching Collaboration. This will give you a couple of different options. The first one is, when do you want to send a reminder email to this person that the one-on-one coaching session is coming up? If I select to turn on the Send One-on-One Reminder email, here I'll be able to select how many days before the coaching session do I want to send a reminder of this worksheet. So I can do 1 day in advance, 2 days, 3 days before the coaching session, or up to a week before the coaching session. We'll go ahead and select 2 days. The next button is Allow team members to edit upcoming coaching sessions. If you decide to turn this on, this will make it so that your team members can not only receive the email for their coaching session, but they'll have access to a button where they'll be able to click on and allow team members to edit upcoming coaching worksheets. So for example, they'll be able to edit questions to your worksheets. They'll be able to edit, add concerns as well, or any talking points that they'll like to cover with you on your next one-on-one coaching session so that you can also prepare for that coaching session. If you turn this on, you want to make sure that you also turn on the button to allow up to how many questions they can add in this worksheet. So if I select the drop-down arrow here, I can say, I'm going to allow my people to add 2 questions, 3 questions, 4, or unlimited amount of questions. So for this scenario, we'll allow them to create up to 2 additional items for team member. Now, underneath, you can see the coaching worksheet that I have already created for my team. Remember, we're looking at sales leader settings. So this worksheet is only visible for myself as the manager and my team. The first question that I created here is review coaching worksheet from last month. This is going to allow me to look at all of the previous worksheets to have a better conversation on how to move forward. Most importantly, you'll notice underneath type of answer that I selected a custom answer. This means that every time you open up a worksheet, and I'll show you in just a second, you will get an open box where you can write as many notes as you need. Underneath help text, you'll be able to add help text so that when your managers hover over the question, they will be able to see exactly what you're trying to get out of that question. So this is really helpful in organization-wide settings. If you create a coaching agenda for all your managers, you want to use the help text so that when you hover over the question, you know exactly what you're supposed to be getting out of that question when you're having coaching conversations. At the very bottom, you'll be able to link all of your questions to a section in Xvoyant. So for example, if you're asking a question around reviewing your pipeline, you can actually link that question to the pipeline inside of Xvoyant so that when your managers click on it, it takes them straight to the pipeline and they can review that information. Okay. Now, the next question, you'll notice that underneath type, I have active coaching goals. Instead of giving me an open custom box where I can write notes into, this is going to pull in all of the coaching goals that this person or this sales rep that I'm having the coaching session with is supposed to be working on. So I will be able to see all of those coaching goals and have a better conversation around how to complete those. If I jump to question number 4 here, this is about reviewing my pipeline and the opportunities that I have selected as important or must-win opportunities. Instead of opening up a custom box or the coaching goal option, this is going to pull in all of the opportunities in my pipeline inside of that worksheet so that I don't have to go look for them, but we can have a really clear review by going through those questions. Okay, after I have all my settings and added all my questions, I'll go ahead and press save. And this will update my settings inside of Xvoyant. Now let's go back to the scorecard section. So let's say that you're having a review session with one of your team members, and you want to create a worksheet for them. Now, before you create a worksheet, to allow collaboration, you have to schedule a one-on-one coaching session. So first, let's click on the blue navigation button and select Schedule One-on-One Coaching Session. Here, you'll be able to select a date for the session, and also a time for the session. Any notes that you may want to share with your team member before the session can be added in here. But most importantly, this is where you can add a worksheet to allow collaboration. So for example, if I want to create a worksheet for my team member, first I have to select if I want to assign the organization-wide template that my manager created for the entire organization or the one that I created just for my team. So I'll go ahead and select my own coaching session agenda. and then I'll press save. This will send an invitation to the salesperson, and this is what the invitation will look like. In the invitation, they will first be able to add this to their Gmail calendar, Outlook calendar, or any kind of calendar that you're using. You'll be able to add this from an attachment at the bottom that you'll be able to download. Most importantly, this is where they can start editing and viewing their coaching agenda. So if you did assign a coaching worksheet to this upcoming coaching session, your team members will be able to click on View Agenda, and they will be able to then add talking points, questions, or concerns to the agenda. Every time your team member adds a question or talking point, you will also receive an email on your side letting you know that there's a new question added to the worksheet so that you can view and prepare for that coaching session. Now, when you're having the one-on-one coaching session, the first thing that we recommend is that when you start your coaching session, the first thing that you do is that you create and open an agenda. So let's go ahead and click on Record One-on-One. Here, I'll have to select the team member that I'm having the coaching session with. And the second thing that I'll have to do is make sure that I select my organization-wide template, worksheet, or my sales leader template. In this scenario, we'll continue working on the coaching session agenda that I created inside of the Settings tab, and I'll press Continue. Now, if you have created a coaching worksheet, just like the one I created before, our tool is going to ask you if you want to use the existing worksheet that has been created for this scheduled coaching session, or if you want to create a new one. So we'll go ahead and use the existing one that I created for this coaching session. If my salesperson added any questions or notes, those will be found at the very top of my coaching agenda. This is the agenda that I created for my coaching session. My first question is review coaching worksheet from last month. As I told you earlier, this is a custom box, which is going to allow me to write as many notes as I need in there. On the top right side, you have your Go There button. This is going to take you to the section that you have assigned to this specific question. So for example, if you want to review your previous coaching worksheets from last month, this is going to take you to the Coaching tab, where you will be able to see all of your previously assigned worksheets and take a look at them and review them from here. Both you as a manager and your salesperson will have access to the one-on-one coaching worksheets that you created in the past. On the top right side of the coaching agenda, I can press show again, and this is going to open up the entire agenda. Now, the next thing is to review your current coaching goals. Again, if I select go there, this is going to take me to those coaching goals. But because I chose the option to pull in my coaching goals, instead of giving me a custom box or must-win opportunities, this is going to show me the goals that this person is currently working on. Here I have assigned them a skill goal and an activity goal, and I can see their progress. The next question is again a custom box. And my fourth question is the must-win opportunity function. If I click go there, this is going to take me to the pipeline section inside of Xvoyant so that I can review the pipeline and start setting coaching goals around some of these opportunities. It's also going to pull all of the opportunities that I have marked as a must-win deal. Now, a lot of times the question I get in this part is, how do we mark something as a must-win deal? Well, when you're reviewing a pipeline with your team member, you'll notice that there are specific opportunities that are very important to your company. Usually that's because they're a bigger opportunity or one with an important client or one that is supposed to be closed in the next couple of weeks. When you select that opportunity and you look at all the details, at the very bottom of the opportunity, you will find the must-win deal button. Here, you can mark opportunities as must-win deals. If you do so, they will show inside of that coaching worksheet if you have created a must-win deal question. Okay. Once you have finished your entire worksheet, you can do a couple of things. You can save the worksheet. If you've made mistakes and want to delete the worksheet and start again, you can do so. Now, on the bottom right side, you'll notice that you can also add a coaching goal at any moment. We put this in there so that as you're having a coaching session and you see an area that you'll like your team member to work on, at any given moment, you can create a new coaching goal. You will also be able to schedule upcoming coaching one-on-one sessions from inside of this worksheet as well. So at the bottom right side, if you click on schedule one-on-one, before your session ends, you'll be able to create your next coaching session. Once you press save, all of these worksheets are going to be loaded into the coaching tab underneath your name and underneath your salesperson's name, so that when they're reviewing their own Xvoyant profile, they can scroll all the way to the bottom of the coaching tab, and in there, they will be able to find all of the coaching worksheets that you've had in the past. And they will be able to click view and review all of the notes and all of the talking items to know exactly how to work throughout the month to get the best out of their sales process. Inside of the rep view of Xvoyant, in the coaching tab, the view is going to be a little different from the manager view that we covered earlier. Here, the rep is going to be able to see their own overview, which is pulled from the scorecard section, their sales goal and their own progress to their sales goal. They will be able to see active coaching goals that they're currently supposed to be working on, and also their completed coaching goals. They can see everything that has been achieved and everything that they have not achieved this month. You'll also be able to create a coaching goals queue. So for example, if you want to create a coaching goal for the future, but you don't want to assign a start or an end date to that coaching goal, you can actually select the draft button when you're creating a coaching goal. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new coaching goal. And here at the very top, you'll find the draft button. If you do create a coaching goal and select the draft button, this is going to make it so that you cannot enter a start and an end date. And is going to upload these coaching goals into the coaching goals queue. And it's not going to send an email to your person that they have a goal to work on until you activate the goal. To activate a goal from the coaching goals queue, all you have to do is click on the eye on the right side. And here, remove the draft button and select a date to start and a date to end the goal. After you enter all of your notes for that coaching goal, and you have selected a follow-up date for the coaching goal, if you press save, this is going to move the coaching goal from the coaching goals queue to the active coaching goals section inside of the coaching tab for that person. You'll notice that this coaching goal that we just assigned is in a pending status. We've sent an email to your salesperson and they're supposed to accept the coaching goal before we can start keeping track of their progress to accomplishing and completing this coaching goal. At the very bottom of the coaching tab for the rep view, you'll have the general notes section where they can write notes for themselves or any notes that the manager may want to share with them. And on the right side, they will have their own calendar with their upcoming one-on-one coaching sessions, coaching goals and their due dates, and also must-win opportunities, just like you have in the coaching tab. But the only difference is that you have it for your whole team, where the salesperson only has it for themselves. Again, at the very bottom of the coaching tab, you will be able to see all of your upcoming one-on-one worksheets. We want to thank all of you for sending over so many questions and joining us for our coaching webinar. You'll receive an email with all of the information from this call in the next couple of hours. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to your customer experience manager at Xvoyant. If you would like to use any of the features we introduced today, but you do not see them when you log into Xvoyant, please reach out to your sales enablement team or your customer experience manager at Xvoyant. Thanks again for joining us for our first webinar, and we hope you have a great day.